Hey,
Mr. Tornado, I'm afraid we have a few more questions for you. I understand the situation, Your Honor. My hands up here. I was keeping a close eye on the proceedings from the gallery. The allegations are all laughable.
Objection!
I wouldn't be laughing if I were you, Mr. Tonate. The message in blood matches your ID number. The same ID number on that there. The same ID number that is on that bomb transport case.
That's a far-fetched theory, no better than a tangled ball of wires. I'll have them untangled for you in no time at all.
You were the first person on the scene after Detective Arm left her message in blood. You were the only one who could have hidden the writing and then used it again later.
I see. But then, let me ask you. Do you have any proof that Detective Arm wrote that message? That's a very good question. Well, do you, Mr. Wright?
Best way to prove that Detective Arm wrote that message is to...
DNA.
Yeah. Definitely analyze the DNA, because if it's her blood, that proves it's not Apollo's blood, and there's no way it could have been that. Your Honor, I request that a DNA test be performed on the blood itself. Once we know who it is, it will be obvious as to who wrote the message. He's like, oh crap.
Very well. Bailiff, please put a request for the DNA test with the forensics team.
Yes, Your Honor.
It'll be some time before we have the results of the analysis. Until then, let's hear more from the witness. I would like nothing more, Your Honor. He's already screwed. I want the court to hear how ridiculous the defense's theory is.
Dude, you should realize by now, like, if once those results come back, you are screwed.
They could even analyze the part without the intended message on it to find Apollo's blood. I admit I was the first one on the scene after the explosion. But there was no bloody writing there at the time. Anyway, there's no way Detective Arm could have written it. She stuck her head on the rubble, died near the courtroom entrance.
That's probably fake then. He probably moved her body too.
She was too far away from where the bloody message was found.
Wait a minute. You can't tell if the witness... Well, no, this would have been taken after he moved it. Well, like, what if the picture just shows her sit in the... and you can see the witness stand?
The only hint to that is literally the smudge on her white shirt.
So you're saying that the victim's body was nowhere near where the writing was?
Precisely, it's as plain as day she could have not written it.
It's true that the body was discovered near the entrance to the courtroom. Please have a look at the crime scene photo.
There we go.
Wider view.
How did he move the rubble? Or did he, like, rebang her hand against it? The wider view, we don't see her hands fully yet to see the blood mark on her finger.
As you can see, there is blood on the rubble near the victim's body. She must have died after hitting her head there. That doesn't make sense. That just doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
If it fell on her...
If it fell on her, she wouldn't be leaned against it. Like, the blood wouldn't be on top of it. Like, if that landed on her, she would have been crushed.
Yeah. I see. All right then, Mr. Wright. You may cross-examine the witness. You have what it takes to take my infallible testimony apart? That's true. Check the other photos and see if there's bloody writing. No, we can't prove that there's bloody writing there before or after. Anyway, there's no way Detective Arm could have written it. She has a lot of time in between
It doesn't
the time of
state
death.
a specific time of. It doesn't say a specific time of death, and it doesn't state if death was instant. I feel like this might be the problem. But how can we object to it?
Struck her head on rubble. She would have had to fall onto it or be pushed into it. You know what I mean?
Oh, I think it is this.
Trauma to the back of the head by impact with a
Because
flat
look,
object.
it's a corner.
Yeah,
It's the
not
corner
a flat
of the rock.
object.
That's not flat at all.
Objection!
You are a terrible liar, Mr. Tonate. Take a look at the autopsy, specifically about Detective Arm's head injury. Cause of death, trauma to the back of the head caused by an impact with a flat object.
Yes, what about it?
Now take a good look at the bloody piece of rubble. It's sharp and pointed.
Hey, you're right, boss. It is pointy. Just like your hair. That is odd, isn't it? What could be the meaning of this contradiction?
I believe it means the victim did not hit her head on this piece of rubble. The bloodstain you see is another fabrication. Its purpose is to mislead us into thinking the victim died near the courtroom entrance. Are you claiming the culprit moved the victim's body? That's exactly what I'm claiming. The victim hit her head on at some other location, most likely on the floor or some flat surface. And this location was somewhere near the bloody writing that was found.
In that case, she definitely could have written the message.
Your Honor, I have the results of the blood test analysis.
Ah, very good timing. Let's take a look. According to the report, the message was written in Detective Arm's blood. And as the defense claims, only the parts of the message that were added afterwards were written in Mr. Justice's blood. That's enough to seal him away right there. But
Yep, but he's gonna fight back.
it would appear that the defense's assertion is correct after all. I have a glaring issue with this case
Oh,
that we're going to have to solve down the road. What is the murder weapon? Where is the actual point of causation?
well, we don't know exactly. That's the problem.
I'm trying to piece it together. Yes, you did it. You were right, boss.
Now I have to drive it home. I have to take a good look at the bloody writing analysis later. Now, we'll look now. DNA analysis definitively proves the blood writing to be that of the victim, Candace Arm, at age 27. However, the lines that were added later were found to be written in the blood of Apollo Justice, age 23.
Mr. Tonate, it is now apparent that you have told several lies to this court. I hope you have some sort of explanation for yourself. Fine, I will confess.
You will? But then why are you so calm?
This time I will tell the truth. Emotion time, I think. It's true that my Detective Arm wrote my ID number. She very plainly wrote L10015R. I was shocked. But I did not detonate the bomb. Detective Arm must have mistaken me for the real bomber. Not wanting to be accused, I moved the body and covered the writing. My bad.
Yeah, sure, that's gonna fly.
I see a serious assertion that merely moved the body. Is that it?
The problem immediately is, okay, you covered the bloody message, but extra blood was Apollo's blood. That didn't happen until recently.
Mm-hmm. That is correct. I did not kill Detective Arm. Oh, well, if that's all you did then... Wait a minute. Tampering a crime scene. That in itself is a criminal act.
Glad to see you finally crossed that finish line, Your Honor.
Very well then. Your cross-examination, please, Mr. Wright.
I mean, it's
Not
just
wanting
this.
to be accused.
He doesn't want to be accused, so and covered the writing. But the DNA analysis proves that the writing changes were done with Apollo's blood, and his body was not. He wasn't attacked until a day after.
Yeah, but it doesn't necessarily prove that he didn't kill Detective Disarm, right?
Well,
he
no,
could have still been.
But it's disproven this. He didn't want to be accused, so he moved the body and covered the writing. But if he covered the writing, then what's the explanation of this? That's my immediate thought.
He covered it with the cart the first day, so technically he's telling the truth.
Then why did the message change?
He just added that on.
Why?
Like, he just literally said it was true that my number's there. He said that, right? That's my number, but it wasn't me because I thought she thought it was mistaken it for me. We need to prove that it was definitely. So we need to prove he detonated the bomb. I think on the last statement.
Hold it!
Didn't you? The victim may have had a special knowledge of who the bomber was.
I have no idea what thoughts Detective Arm may have inside her head. It is not like I ever dismantled her mind to check.
Mr. Wright, if you have suspicions about the witness, let's see your proof. Evidence is everything in a court of law. Even skilled children know that. How many years have you been a defense attorney now? Cut me some slack, will you?
Don't feel bad, boss. You just got your attorney's badge back, after all. In that sense, you're still more of a beginner than I am.
Suppose I should be thankful you're not a licensed psychologist.
Tony, please continue with your testimony. With pleasure, my ID number was left at the scene, but we don't have anything that would do it, though. But let's talk to him. Let's.
By mistaken, do you mean had nothing to do with the explosion?
That is correct. That is why I was so shocked when I saw my ID number.
The victim may have suspected Mr. Tonate for no reason other than the fact that, as the bomb specialist, he was in charge of the bomb. In other words, a false accusation. It's vocational discrimination, I say.
I do not support discrimination of any kind.
Well spoken, Your Honor. If the victim had been found to be killed with a gavel, Mr. Bluesuit over there would probably have pinned his crime on you.
He would? Well, that just wouldn't do. Mr. Wright, if you dare try to pin anything on me, I will find you in contempt of court.
I think you'll find him in something much more serious than contempt of court. But I've never even tried to harm a hair on... strand on your beard.
Well said, Mr. Payne, because I am so closely associated with bombs. I was afraid I would be prosecuted if anyone saw the bloody writing. I mean, we can go with your OG theory. I'm okay doing it. As long as you tax safe.
You didn't think to clean away the bloody writing?
I didn't have time. By the time I found the message, the blood was already dry. The police were waiting just outside for me to secure the room. And I still had to move the body. I was in a panic. With no time to spare, I temporarily covered the writing with my case.
Didn't you think the police would find it during their investigation?
Regulation stipulates only specialists may touch transport cases. Because of the danger, you see. I thought I would clean up the writing once they were finished. My bad. My bad. Does he really think that I could just magically smooth everything over?
This guy is something else. And I don't believe Detective Armstein messaged some mistake. He won't wrinkle out of this that easily. What did Mr. Tonate see when he first discovered the bloody writing? Has to be a contradiction in his testimony somewhere.
If he saw the writing right by the witness stand, was he on the witness stand at the time?
No, I think he was probably trying to move the case, and then Tonate snuck up behind him. That's probably what Apollo was probably at the case, maybe trying to move it.
Not what I'm referring to. In the court case, was he the guy standing at the front?
No. Wait, are you talking Mr. Tonate or Apollo?
Mr. Ted, was he the only one that was supposed to be safe from that explosion?
Maybe?
If he was on trial and he was sitting in the
Tonate
witness
wasn't the
stand,
one on trial. We don't know who was on trial. But we know that it had something to do with the bomb. And then that bomb got activated and went off. We don't know anything about the original case.
Okay, so let's go with this track of knowledge here. We're missing an R, right? Let's go to the other photo and see if we find an R.
Well, no,
the one of her down. There's no piece with a random R anywhere.
Don't see anything.
If you move the body, she saw something. And you pressed every statement?
I don't think I pressed the first two because they don't seem off.
Maybe we'll get a new piece of evidence.
So you meant that you actually did see the bloody writing that the detective arm left.
My bad, I should have said so from the outset.
And you are sure it was your ID number?
I am sure. It was definitely my ID number.
I get it.
What?
I understand. I understand.
That number was assigned exclusively to me by the police department. The number is assigned to my goggles as well.
Those funky things were provided by the police department. At least I think I get it. And I'll explain in a moment.
Although these are special goggles customized by me personally.
Speaking of personalized, these sunglasses of mine were made custom as well. Custom made as well. They were specifically created to be particularly dark and shiny.
Speaking of special, my goggles made of mahogany and custom made as well. It was specially created to make a particularly loud and resounding sound.
I had something to brag about. But be all as it may, I just want to confirm you saw the bloody writing clearly. That it was your ID number.
That is correct. My ID number was written in blood on the floor. What do you see?
Remember how we were talking about that piece that's missing?
Yeah. He saw the R.
Where's that piece then? He's saying she clearly wrote it. It's like, but there's no piece there.
True.
Maybe?
No, he would have saw it at the time of the accident, though, right?
Well, no, not necessarily.
Oh, wait, because if he's missing that piece, he did something else at the scene.
Yeah, there's something else afoot. I think it's this. I think this.
Objection!
Yes! Let's go! I just want to make doubly sure that L10015R is really what you saw written in blood.
Yes, it is very clearly said, loser.
But that's odd, because that's not what I see. I realized that once he started he was mentioning seeing his ID again. It's like, wait a minute, not all of it was visible. There was a piece of it gone.
Objection!
What on earth are you blabbering on now? Wasn't it you who claimed the bloody writing of it was ID in his first place? Take a good look at the photo in the bloody writing analysis. Now tell me, does it really say L10015R? Something is missing, isn't it? And that something is the final R.
What is the meaning of this, Mr. Tonate? Oh, right, now I remember. There was no R on the end. It was just a slip of the finger. My bad.
Nope. Sorry. Come back, my beautiful contradiction.
You're right, I'm not so sure it was just a simple slip of the finger.
You have something for me, Athena?
I sense that he's extremely agitated, almost panicked.
He does look pretty frustrated.
Well, Mr. Red, it appears there was nothing more than a mere mistake.
I don't know. Did he really just make a typo? What was that R? Mr. Tony, he actually saw it.
Yeah, he actually saw it R.
Maybe Mr. Tony really did see the R. There's no R anywhere in this bloody writing. What's going on here? Now that I take another look at the photo, I think maybe... That's it!
What is it now, Mr. Wright? Are you trying to imitate Apollo and his cords of steel?
Got it. So that's what happened. A slip of the finger. Is that really all it was? Because I don't think so. I propose that Mr. Tonate really did see it, the letter R.
But the photo clearly shows there's no R.
No, Your Honor. Actually, just the opposite. Just the opposite is true. The photo shows that Mr. Tonate actually could have seen the R.
If you're going to make that claim, then you better be able to point out what you mean. What part of the photo shows that Mr. Tonate could have seen the R?
Right
Take
there.
that!
Please look here, to the right of the 5. Do you see a bit of red?
Oh, I see it, just on the edge of where the floor is broken up. I'm glad, that was driving me nuts.
That's the R Mr. Tonate saw.
Objection!
It's true that the witness wears some very odd goggles, but that doesn't mean his eyesight is bad, nor his brain power. What part of that little smudge looks like an R to you?
Objection!
But what Mr. Tonate saw wasn't the little smudge. There was a whole and complete R written there, before the floor was damaged by the explosion. Wait, what? Hold on a sec, Phoenix. What? Before the floor was damaged by the explosion?
Oh, my mind hurts on this one. She wrote her message in blood before the explosion happened? Is he insinuating that he hit her
Before the bomb? Wait,
so
wait, if he's saying that he stopped to try to disarm the bomb, but there wasn't time, he could have knocked her out then.
That would be...
If there was enough gap between when the courtroom got cleared and he was in there trying to do it and she came in and he killed her.
Maybe she...
Wait, what if the bomb wasn't beeping and he made that claim, get everyone out of the courtroom, and he set up the bomb and he walked in on him. Is that a possibility?
It's feasible. Like, he'd have to place the bomb there. Then, if that was true, why wouldn't he just let the bomb blow with her in it and just immediately detonate it? Oh, well, that explains it, huh? Care to explain what you mean? Because you just proposed that everything happened in the exact opposite order.
Yep, because that's the way it really went down. The timing of when the R was written turns everything about this case around.
I figured out where the...
Now then, if the floor was damaged before the message was written...
I figured out the murder weapon.
Is it the bomb itself?
No. It's literally the case.
Yeah, I did say that earlier. It's like, what if the case was the weapon in a way?
It's on the bottom of the case, and nobody can move the case but him or her.
Well, the case is probably heavy because it's on wheels. So how did it move? How did he get it? Smash her head?
It's a big ass flat object if she's disarming.
True. With the bloody message running off the edge of the damaged floor like that.
And again, it is really big.
We can only conclude that it was written before the explosion. But that's ridiculous!
If that were true, it overturns your own premise. Wait. So the cart was moved before the explosion, which I did surmise because that piece was out, right? Because you couldn't move the cart over that. So they're disarming he called an emergency and called everyone out. Everyone runs, right? Because the timer's going off. She comes in because she's also on the case, and then he kills her. But she has enough time between when he's distracted by something to write a message.
He was probably finishing setting up the bomb, killed her on the way out, but she was still alive, and as she was finishing writing the message, the bomb blew. Maybe?
The bomb blew up, but then he would have been able to, if the bomb, he had to move the cart and notice the message while he was...
No, he saw the message after, I think. Or no, like, it doesn't... We need to see what they say. We need to see what they say.
Look at the trail. That he can't move the tire over that unless he can pick up the entire case. I mean, the case isn't that big, but...
That's right. It does. In fact, it turns everything upside down. The victim was not killed by the explosion in the courtroom. She was killed before the explosion ever occurred.
Yeah, that case is huge to actually hit against her head. Order in the court.
What kind of preposterous claim is that? Have you forgotten the victim's body was found at the scene of the explosion?
Objection!
True, but consider this scenario. She was hit on the head and killed before the explosion, or even before the trial began. Her body was subsequently placed
in the case.
Courtroom after the bombing occurred. That way, it could be made to look like he was the victim of the blast. What?
He was in the case the entire time. It seems a better look into what the victim was doing before the trial. Mr. Payne, did anyone see Detective Arm before the trial?
Let's see. According to a police report. Here it is. One person saw the victim before the trial. That person was Ted Toney. Wait, what?
No one besides Mr. Tonate saw the victim?
That appears to be the case, Your Honor.
I would now ask the court to recall something.
Earl.
Fuck.
I would now like to ask the court to recall something. Specifically, Mr. Tonate's words from yesterday.
Oh my.
Mr. Tonic, just before the trial, you were with the victim. The two of you were together at the scene of the crime, courtroom number 4.
Some sort of code, I bet.
You gotta do it though. You gotta try to see something.
Ah, the 2P-JCCX.
Your Honor, the defense requests new testimony from Mr. Tonic. We wish to hear what he has to say about his whereabouts just before the trial.
Mr. Toda, your testimony, please. My testimony, there's no need for... Blah, 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 blah. It's completely unnerved, Mr. Wright. You must have hit the nail on the head. Because, all I did was transport the bomb to the courtroom. I already told you, Paul was you to oost. God bless this thing. I was only in the courtroom with the victim because of our work. I swear only transporting the bomb there.
Objection!
You and the victim were alone together at the scene of the crime. In other words, you certainly had the opportunity to commit murder, did you not?
Objection!
Tess. You always leave yourself so open to attacks, Mr. Wright. What now, Mr. Payne? Yes, Mr. Tonite may have had the opportunity to kill Detective Arm. But an important piece of your assertion is missing. Let's go see, what's the murder weapon? The murder weapon. What do you claim he used to kill the victim? I mean,
Mr. Payne has a point.
It has to be the case, right?
The case itself.
It's the case itself or the bomb. Is my guess.
The bomb is...
It's small and flat. And it has that crack on it. On the front end.
Even if Mr. Tonate had the chance without a weapon, we can't accuse him of the crime.
Well, Mr. Tonate.
Oh, yes. That's right. Look at that face. I didn't have any sort of thing that could be used as a murder weapon on me. I couldn't possibly have killed Detective Arm.
Did he really have nothing he could use as a murder weapon?
Mm-hmm.
What is it, Athena?
Just looking over the victim's autopsy report. I'm hoping there's something in here that can point us in the right direction.
Well, it does say she died from trauma to the back of the head with a flat object.
Yeah, to inflict that special kind of injury. All you would need is a flat surface, right?
Heavy blunt object with a flat surface could definitely be our murder weapon.
Yeah, it's gotta be the bomb.
Uh-huh.
That thing's like 12 pounds.
Yeah, 12 pounds. That would be good. That would do the job, probably.
Well, Mr. Wright, can you indicate for the court what was used to kill Detective Arm? Thoughts?
Exactly, Kai. Exactly. It's like Ted Tonate? Seriously? What's his son's name? Terrorist? Ha ha! That's a good one, Kai. That's a good one. I believe I can. Believe being the key word here.
You can. Then please do so now. What did Mr. Tony that could have been used as a murder weapon?
Take that!
Mr. Tone, you say you didn't have anything that could be used as a weapon. But in fact, you had the perfect thing.
What? What the devil are you talking about?
You had this.
That's the bomb! I thought you were trying to prove that the victim wasn't killed by the bomb blast.
The bomb blast, no. But I believe Candace's arm was killed with this bomb. Because this is the blunt object that delivered the fatal blow to her head. Please recall the description of Detective Arm's head. Trauma to the back of the head caused by impact was a flat object. We assume this injury was sustained when she hit her head on the floor. But a blow from any flat side of this bomb would produce the exact same pattern.
Yeah.
What's with him?
Then show me some proof. Where's the evidence that I hit the victim with the bomb?
It's right on the bomb. Ah, he's right. I don't have any
Did you find any victim's blood on the bomb? That would be decisive proof. But too bad the bomb is blown to bits. It's long gone. Boom. Game over, yeah?
That's why he blew it.
He had to.
Ugh.
Mr. Wright, is there not really nothing on the bomb in that photo?
There's a crack in it. I don't see blood or anything.
Wait, the timer display is a little broken here. 8:56 a.m. would be after the murder, right? So it had to occur before 8:56 a.m. Maybe it broke when he made contact with Detective Arm's head.
It's definitely a distinct possibility. But unless we find a fragment of a fragment with the victim's blood on it, it's not going to count.
I guess you're right.
Setting off the bomb, Tony managed to obliterate all traces as a murder weapon. But what in the world do I do now? Times like this, I gotta change gears to look at things a different way. Instead of looking for the things he wasn't able to hide, I should be looking for a way to expose the things he did hide. Ted Koenig murdered Detective Arm before the trial started. Then he placed her body in a courtroom after the bomb went off. It's in the case! There's gonna be blood in the case!
That's all there needs to be.
Which means there was something he needed to keep hidden until then. I think I have just the thing. Time to present the photo that shows exactly what Mr. Tony had to hide. So it's gonna be the photo of her body, right?
Yep.
Take that!
Your Honor, there's something we've all been overlooking. If the murder took place before the trial, then Mr. Tonate would have had to hide the body somewhere during the trial.
Ah, you're right. If we can figure out where that hiding place was.
Exactly. We might be able to find some evidence we can pin him down with. So where could Mr. Tonate have hidden the body during the trial?
Take that!
Wait, a big box enough for a body. A box that was in the courtroom this whole time.
Kind of grim if you think about it.
Yep. Box nobody would touch if they thought there was a bomb in it. Mr. Tonate.
Why did it? Do you finally have some decisive evidence to show me?
No, you're the one who's going to show it to me.
Come again?
You heard me. Now show me what's inside the bomb transport case. What?
What? Why? No. There's no need.
Got him now. Just before the trial, you killed the victim with a blunt object. And then you placed her body in the ruins of the courtroom after the bomb went off. Clearly, you were trying to make it look like she died in the explosion. But where was the body hidden during the trial?
Oh, I hadn't thought of that.
The answer is right here. Inside the box made of thick alloy plating that can withstand any impact.
No, that's completely false.
If it is false, you should have no objections to showing us your transport case. So, let's open up and take a look inside, shall we? Hold it!
He started a bomb. He started a bomb. Let's not. Not if you value your life. I knew it. He has a bomb. What's he up to now? What's he up to now, Shiro?
Oh,
Remain
dear.
calm and listen carefully.
He's not. That bomb's real, isn't it?
I think the bomb right there is real. He can put it together in a way. This bomb will detonate in 5 minutes. What? I knew there was going to be a bomb in court. I repeat, the HH3000 will detonate in 5 minutes.
What's going on?
Your Honor, I recommend you adjourn this trial before this bomb goes off. Mr. Tony, are you threatening me? I am the only one who can disable this bomb. If you do not want to die, your only option is to listen to me.
But Mr. Tonate, didn't you say that that's just a training model? A fake to practice on?
I did, but I also lied. This is the real deal. This is the double H3000.
But the double HH3000 was used to blow up the courtroom number 4, wasn't it?
How do you know it was the real double H3000 that blew up the courtroom number 4?
That's true. We wouldn't know.
The bomb that blew up the courtroom was a different one. One that I made. What? Then are we going to take that as a confession on your part? Take it any way you would like. Just before the trial, I took the double H3000 out of the stuffed animal and put my own bomb into it. That was the bomb that exploded and destroyed courtroom number 4.
Mr. Tonate, please be reasonable. Do you really expect us to believe a crazy story like that?
The double H3000, it is so unique. I have never seen anything like it.
So that means we still need to figure out where that bomb came from in the first place at some point.
Yep. It is so unique that I could not replicate the detonation mechanism. So I just had to have it. Besides, did anyone look inside the stuffed animal during the trial? Did anyone check to see if it really was the double H3000 in there? Oh, that judge. I must confess, no one opened the stuffed animal to check.
So there really is the possibility that the bomb was switched out.
No, not a possibility. A certainty. I did it.
So he's had a real bomb with him this whole time.
You better get out of here while you can. You do not have much time. Order. Order on the court. And I'm out of here. It's gonna blow. Run! Hold it. Oh, it's just them. You 4 are still here. Well, well, aren't you brave? It just wouldn't do for the judge presiding over this court to run. But that horrible explosion the other day.
The judge looks like he's about to book it for the nearest exit any second. As for Mr. Payne, that's it.
Oh, he ran.
And he's off.
Mr. Wright, what do we do?
It'd be pretty pathetic to run now, wouldn't it?
But the bomb might really go off. Only 3 more minutes, folks.
There's nothing on that to confirm.
That's the Double H3000. Other than the cracked glass, which makes it unique.
I think that maybe that cracked glass is it? Is the point?
We have the alloy plating as well. We have the look and design of it. And what does he have there?
What should I do? Run like a yellow belly kid. Hold on. Hold on a second.
If you run, he wins.
I want to see this. I want to see what happens. No, I can't do that. Can't run. Not now. Oh, it's not like this.
Mr. Wright, that look on your face. You were thinking to run away like a yellow-bellied chicken, were you? Boss, I would never expected that from you.
Only thought about it for a second.
Unacceptable, Mr. Wright. If you think about running away again, I will be forced to throw you out of this courtroom.
Do you really want that? You want to be alone in here with the bomb?
And yes! I wish you would, Your Honor.
I wish you would, Your Honor. Looks like we're gonna throw Earl out for keep reading Phoenix's lines. I better reconsider my next course of action. What should I do? I can't run now.
Well, it's been fun, but I will be going now. With my dear, dear Double H3000, naturally. Why would you take it with you? Oh, and by the way, I would advise against having me followed.
Well, if he takes it with him, he'll just disarm it. Once
Sure.
what his goal is just to get out of there.
What if you just, like, handcuffed him to the desk? Even with no remote switch, this bomb can still be triggered manually. If I think I'm being followed, I will detonate it on the spot. I can't see the face of the clock facing him.
Well, he turned it to us at a moment, and it wasn't cracked.
Farewell.
Objection!
Hold it!
Hold it. You're not going anywhere, Ted, tonight.
Ow.
Your Honor, there's no reason to be afraid. That bomb is a fake.
Are you sure, Mr. Wright? More of your famous bluffing? Even at the risk of your own life?
Yeah, Phoenix would be like, yep, I believe it. We are going to stay right here until that timer hits 0. We're going to see what happens.
Mr. Wright, none of your bluffing now. Not at a time like this. Lives are on the line here.
I'm not bluffing, and I have proof.
You do?
Yes, of course, Your Honor. It's right here in the photo of the bomb, clear as day. Proof that Mr. Tonate's bomb is not the real HH3000.
Really? Out with it then, immediately. Where is the proof that Mr. Tonate is holding the real Double H3000?
It's not holding the real one.
Ah.
Take that!
The display for the timer on the bomb in the photo is broken. Most likely it broke when Mr. Tonate used the bomb to attack Detective Arm. But the display on the bomb in front of us is not broken.
Oh, you're right.
Therefore, this is not the real HH3000. Mr. Tonate was clearly lying when he said he switched out the bombs and the stuffed animals. The real HH3000 blew up courtroom number 4. The bomb is nothing more than a fake, a model used for training purposes.
Ugh.
Fear not, Your Honor. I will examine the inside of the bomb transport case myself.
Yes, please do that, Mr. Wright. What's that? Is that a bloodstain?
Just as I expected. Your lies have all been blown to bits, Mr. Tonate. I'm confident a DNA analysis on this bloodstain will confirm that it's Detective Arm's blood. And that those results will be conclusive proof that you murdered Detective Arm. Get ready for your breakdown, Earl. How about it, Mr. Tonate? Think you can dismantle this decisive evidence?
Dismantle it. You're too late. You missed your chance to run, so now you're out of time. The Devil H3000 is about to explode.
Don't try to threaten us, Mr. Tonate. I've already proven that your bomb is a fake.
It's real. This bomb is a real thing. I tell you. It's real.
Mad Bomber, party of one.
There's no time left. It's going to blow. I have to disarm it. I have to take it apart. I can dismantle anything. I can take apart evidence. I can take apart bombs. I can dismantle it all. Dismantle, 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 dismantle. I'm not gonna make it! Only one thing left to do! Ah!
He just broke it with his face.
His goggles?
Made it.
His goggles blew up.
It still went. It still went. Game over. Dismantle attempt failed.
It's all over. My life has been blown to pieces. It's all that stupid woman's fault. I was selling the bombs I disarmed on the black market. When I tried to take this one, she just had to notice, didn't she? She confronted me in courtroom number 4 that day. That's why I had no choice. Before I knew what I was doing, I hit her. It's all her fault. While I was looking for a place to hide her body, she left a message in her own blood. The trial was about to start, so I didn't have time to clean it up. And now all this. I thought for sure I could disguise her death with an explosion. Then that stupid defense attorney started sticking his nose into my business. After my testimony yesterday, I went to courtroom number 4 and found the kid all up in my bomb transport case. That's when I snuck up behind him and
So
bam.
Apollo was looking in the case when he was hit.
When the idiot police arrested that little girl, I thought for sure I could pin it all on her. Why? Oh, why?
Tony, you are hereby under arrest on suspicion of the courtroom bombing and the assault on Mr. Justice and murder. Your innocence or guilt will be determined at a later trial. Now then, I see that members of the public have returned to the gallery. One person, however, seems to still be running far, far away. Be that as it may, I will now announce Miss Juniper Ward's verdict. That feels good. I'll take a steady rise down.
No one there.
We knocked, but no one's home.
Court is adjourned.
December 18th, 12:31 p.m. District Court. Defendant Lobby, number 5.
You did it, boss.
Yeah, I guess we managed to pull it off somehow.
So many mysteries cleared up all at once. It was amazing.
Just sort of worked out that way, didn't it?
That's not the kind of thing that usually just works out. You made it happen. And that way, and the way that mean old prosecutor hightailed it out of here, that was great.
Mr. Wright, Dina, thank you for everything you did for me.
I'm so happy for you, Junie. Now you can go back home to the forest in peace.
I hope the both of you will come and visit me there sometime. That would be nice. Thank you for the invitation.
I don't know, Mr. Bright. I'm not sure you can make it all the way up to Junie's house. Have to hike? How high up do you live again, Junie?
And
Holy shit.
Phoenix is afraid of heights. What? That's no forest. That's a mountain.
But you know, boss, there's something that still bothers me about the case. One little mystery we never got around to solving.
What happened to the rhino? Look at that. I was wondering about that too.
We also never found the detonator.
Oh yeah, that's probably what she's asking about. We never found it.
Take that!
It's a remote switch, right?
Yeah, I wonder where it disappeared to. Maybe Mr. Tonate just got rid of it somewhere.
It's a pretty big thing to leave unsolved, though. Well, let's leave it up to the police to find. For now, we should be celebrating our not guilty verdict, and the fact that this switch is probably going to come back to haunt us later on.
I guess you're right. Hey, I know. Junie, shall we go report the good news? You know, to that certain someone.
Okay. Huh? Her grandmother?
No, silly, to Apollo.
Oh, right. Why don't we all go to the hospital together to see him?
Great idea. I bet he's bored out of his mind.
Okay.
I'm waiting to go there to find like him flirting with another girl.
Oh dear. Let's not go there. He's flirting with one of the nurses. And so the courtroom bombing case came to a close. But the next trial was just over the horizon. There's never a dull moment with so many lawyers in the office, that's for sure. Apollo Justice, Asina Sykes, and me, Phoenix Wright. Between the three of us, there's no case we can't solve. When our powers combine, we're an unstoppable team. With our powers combined. At least that's what I believed.
Okay, I'm hungry.
But all that changed was what Apollo said to us that day. It was something that would put my faith in us to the ultimate test. Uh-oh, what? Date unknown. Time unknown. Right? Anything agency.
Sorry, but I'll be taking a leave of absence.
Wait, what do you mean by a leave?
Can you at least give me a reason why? I can only say that this is something I must settle on my own.
Trucy.
Still need to settle the eye patch too. Like, why is his eye covered?
Oh, why, Apollo? Why are you shutting us out?
That's a mystery for another week. So. What happened to you, Apollo? Ever since you put that jacket on, you've changed. And now, for whatever reason, all my mind keeps doing is returning to the day I first met you.
Aww.
We had tackled our first case together, he and I, this past spring. And as we did, I came to know who he is and how he thinks. It was a very peculiar case, one in which the victim was killed by a mythical creature.
Huh?
I think we're flashbacking next case.